Hey there, folks. It's been quite a while since I've been on here, and there are quite a few reasons for that. In my sophomore year of college, it's actually become challenging, and I didn't expect that going into graphic design, but wow, I have to work in school. Um, that's of course been fun because I very much like my major. And the reason that I'm putting this video on here right now, other than being bored, quite frankly, um, wanted to share an interesting story with you. One of the things that I am known for is my luck. Now, I can give examples for that all day long, but by far the best one, at least in recent memory, would be my phone. Um, I probably never had my phone on camera before, unless I'm just texting away. It's an iPhone. It's the 4, because I'm too poor to have a 4S at the moment. Uh, Currently unemployed because my job is seasonal. I work in the summer and do school in the winter. Although I have maintained a mildly successful business buying and selling movable type. For those of you not familiar with movable type, don't feel bad. Pretty much no one is. Um, it's like little letters. For a printing press, you line them up and make words and print them out. Um, One of my teachers got me into that idea because she used to work in a print shop, started telling us about it. I said, this is kind of cool. I like history, so it sort of seems like a cool thing to get into. And I'm making decent money doing it, paying rent. I moved out of the dorms because I got a dorm for my sophomore year originally. I moved out within an hour, and when I say an hour, I mean like a day. But long story short, I moved out in very short order. So I now have an apartment, 3-bedroom apartment, 2 roommates, both Chinese. They're teaching me a little bit of Chinese, but oh god, I'm tone deaf, or pretty close to tone deaf. So I don't hear the differences in tones all that well. Um, you know, I can understand them decently because I don't know enough words for it to really matter. But when I say something, I might use the wrong tone and insult their mother by calling them a horse. I don't know. Bad stuff. Um, anyway, as you may know, I think I may have recorded a video talking to this. I have a friend who is a Vietnam veteran, and we recently took him down to the Vietnam Wall because we thought it'd be good for him. So we had, a really, really fun few days down there, except for, the couple visits to the wall, which weren't fun per se, but he says it did him a lot of good, so, you know, feel good about it. Anyway, first night I'm there, I have my phone. Now, I'm navigating us around. Even though my father has the same phone, he just refuses to use navigation for it. He makes fun of me for using this for navigation, and he uses a map, yet he misses the exits when I take a nap, and I don't. But, oh well. So, this phone, at some point, either missed my pocket, or I didn't put it in a pocket. When I stood up, it just fell on the ground. And I didn't realize that. So we're in the lobby. Dad's driving the car, presumably back to some, parking spot across the street. And I call him on my friend's phone and said, "Hey, I seem to have lost my phone." He wasn't happy to hear that, of course, even though I paid for the phone. So it's not too much of his concern. He's just not pleased to hear it. And I said to him, "Check the car. It's either in the door or on the seat somewhere." He didn't find it, which is bad. Um, he came back and he's like, "I don't know where it is. I didn't see it." So I said, "Oh, well, let me go look." Turns out he parks across the street, not too far. I run out there. I'm looking around through this car, and I'm like, "Oh my god, where's my phone?" Like, great. I go, like, I mean, I live like 10 minutes from an Apple store. And then when I'm down in DC, I don't know where anything is. So I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna be without a phone for 3 or 4 days. All my contacts, pictures, all that gone. Um, My dad starts walking out, toward the car, and he's like, "Oh, have you seen it?" I'm signaling him, call the phone. Hopefully, I'll hear like a vibrating or ringing or something. And I look back toward him, and I see like a little box in the middle of the street, and I'm like, seriously, that's got to be my phone. So I said, "Hey, Dad, you see that little black brick in the road? I think that's my phone." He's like, "You got to be kidding me." So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's my phone." So I run across the street, like hoping I'm not going to be hit by a car in this process. And I said, "Oh my God, it's my phone!" So first thing I do, obviously, is I pick up the phone, notice that there are no screen cracks. I'm like, "Oh, that's good." Look a little closer. There are tire marks over the rubber part of this, and the whole rubber, the rubber on the Otter Box is, it peels off. So all that was like peeled out like this, and I'm like, "What happened here?" I'm nervous at this point. I like my phone. Do this. I said, "Oh my God." All right, well the phone's functional at least, but I'm pretty sure it was hit by a car. So what I do is I open this. First thing I notice is one of the pieces falls out. Uh, my friend in the Vietnam veteran was like, "Oh my God, there's a piece falling apart now." As you might see as I took this apart, you know, rubber comes off, and so yeah, the case itself suffered some significant structural damage. It's a good word for it, right? Um, but yeah, that's like, I don't know, what was it, $45 case for an Otter Box? But it's worth it. I mean, this thing got hit by a car. I mean, when I got out of the car to start bringing stuff into the lobby, we were on the side of the road. I found it near the middle of the road. So not only did it get hit by a car, it must have like shot off to the side somewhere. And even though the case is in rough shape, it's being a little generous in rough shape. Wow. I mean, let's talk about buying $40 case versus, $400, $600 phone. Well worth the investment. Absolutely. So if you have an iPhone and you don't care about, turning a sexy, slim little phone into what it basically is a big rubber brick, then I would say definitely go with this because it served me quite well. And when I put the whole thing together, clipping it all together, I mean, it holds up. I mean, it's got significant cracking in it, but I think it held up quite well. I'm probably going to replace this old case in the next few days because, I mean, I do a lot of climbing and running around abandoned buildings, and this might not hold up the next time I do something stupid. So bearing that in mind, I'm going to say probably going to get a new one. And I know I will definitely be buying one of these cases again because, I mean, if this can stand up to about a year and not be killed, me owning it, it's a good case. So, if you have an iPhone, and like I said, if you don't mind it being just a big rubber brick, absolutely get this one. It's awesome. So with that, I'm probably gonna go to bed. First night of spring break for me, total partier. Sitting in my room, I don't know where my roommates are. They're probably partying. Anyway, see ya.